Alright, so in today's video, we'll be doing pseudocode and flowcharts of computer science paper 2. Pseudocode and flowcharts. Alright, so first of all, to begin with, pseudocode is not a programming language. It only pretends to be programming language. It is not bound by the strict syntax of a programming language, so it's a bit easier to understand. So first of all, we have to understand the different assignments that you can do in pseudocode. So first of all, if you have an operator, which is plus, that would be addition. Add, minus is subtract. This is multiplication. It's like a star. Let's write mult. Division is like this. Divide, div. Raised to the power is like this. Power. And to group something, you just put in brackets, so group. So these are the different assignments in Pseudocode. Let's write some examples. Let's say you want to multiply something, so price is going to be cost. Cost can be, let's actually write down cost. Let's say cost is 10. So price could be cost into 2. This is multiplication, so you do cost, which is 10 into 2. And yeah, the text in that could be price into 0.12. So again, it's gonna multiply, and then again, selling price. And like this is just like different ways you can use assignments. This can be price plus tax, and there's like many more. This is like a small program, I guess. And yeah, that's it for assignments. Now, conditional statements. Conditional statements. So in pseudocode, mainly you have two. You have if, then, else, and if to end the if statement. So an example of this is basically when you use this conditional statement, you start with an if condition. You write n, which is followed if the condition is true, and the else path is followed if the condition is false. So let's say if age is less than 18, indentation is important. So then print child, else print adult, and then you end it. So this was a very basic example of if, then, else, and if. And then you have case of otherwise. So an example of this could be, let's make a small program, case grade of event A. Basically, we're using this to make a small pseudocode program. So let's say if you're grading something, so A would be print excellent. B would be print good, and then C would be print average. and you can write D, E, so on, improvement needed. Now we use case and of. Otherwise, what we use like this, otherwise, print, improvement is needed. Since right now we're not really adding any more sections like D, E, and if the grade is lower than C, then we're simply writing improvement is needed. And then we end case. So yeah, in pseudocode you also have comparison operators. It's fairly easy. This is greater than, this is less than, this is equal to, this is greater than or equal to, this is equal sign by the way. There you go. And this is going to be less than or equal to. And then we have this, which is not equal. We have brackets, which are group again. And we have and, which is both, or, which is either, or not, which is none. Not, sorry. Yeah, then we have loop structures. Let me write it down. Loop structures. What? Okay. Loop structures. Okay, there we go. It froze. Anyway, loop structures. So the first one that we have is for to next. Basically you use for to next when you have a set number of repetitions. So set number of repetitions. And basically, let's say you want to repeat a program 5 times, you would use this one because it's the most efficient. Then we have repeat. Until. A repetition where the number of repeats is not known, that is completed at least once. So we know that it needs to be completed at least once, and we're going to use repeat until if we want to fill this criteria. So let's just write repeated at least once, and then finally we have while do and while. There we go. And this is basically used when a repetition where the number of repeats is not known, that may never be computed. So basically we have no idea when and how many loops it's going to complete. So and it may also never be completed. So let's just write may never be completed. Now to use all of these loop structures, let's start with for to next. For to next. Now for, let's make a counter. So yeah, a variable is set up with a start value and an end value, and then incremented in steps of 1 until the end value is reached and the iteration finishes. The variable can be used within the loop so long as its value is not changed. This type of loop is very useful for reading values into lists. So let's say we make a list of students in a class. So for counter 1, 2, 10. So in this one statement we've used for and to. We're basically making a counter. Print enter name of student. Then input the student name, student name, and then this is going to be from the counter. finally, next. Oh, did not mean to do that. There we go, next. Then let's move on to the next, which is repeat until. Basically, this loop structure is used when the number of repetitions is not known and the actions are repeated until a given condition becomes true. So, but we do know that the actions in this loop are completed at least once. So, let's make a small program total. In this program, we're basically gonna okay, we're basically gonna keep marking until it becomes -1. So 0 mark 0 repeat. So we're repeating, and then total is, let me just write it as total, and then mark total plus mark print enter value for mark, comma -1 to finish. So basically, we're not done writing the program, but we're gonna mark the students' tests, you could say, and then when it's done, we're just gonna write -1. So repeat. We're just gonna like list down the number like 6, 7, 4, 2, 3, and then when we're done, we're just gonna write -1. So then input mark, and it's gonna keep repeating until mark is equal to -1. So let me just write repeat until. There we go. Finally, we have while, do, and while. While, do, and while. So these are the three loop structures. Don't confuse your conditional statements with loop structures. While, do, and while. This is basically used when the repetition is not known and the actions are only repeated while a condition is true. If the while condition is untrue when the loop is first entered, then the actions in the loop are never performed. So let's write a small program to basically keep checking. Yeah, so total is 0, and then print. It'll make sense as we go along. So enter value for mark, comma -1 to finish. Basically, it has a little bit of the same, what's that word? A little pinch of the same program from repeat until. So enter value for mark, -1 to finish. Input mark, while mark is, let's have a look at what this sign is again. This is not equal to. So while mark is not equal to -1. Do. So we've used while and do. Let me write this super caps. While mark do, and then total plus mark. We're going to do total plus mark just to put it in total, and then print enter value for mark, -1 to finish, input mark, and then the end the while. There you go. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The rest are input and output statements, you could say. Let's just talk about that as well. input is basically when the user has to input something. You can even use read, and yeah, so input can also be written as read, and output, basically whatever the output of the program is, it can also be